Hello everyone and welcome to the LCC. It is the top 6 and I'm with ZAN SYED, who has won how many golden Mickeys, ZAN?
3.
3 golden Mickeys. I knew the answer to that, but... so we're in the top 6. The winner will be playing against Kurt SPECI, who beat DKP earlier. Did you get to watch that game at all, ZAN? I guess you were at work.
I was at work,
Yeah.
but both of them are my teammates, and I saw like a chat log of them talking about it afterwards.
Nice. Yeah, I didn't get to watch it just yet either. I watched like a little bit, but I was playing golf and kind of looking at my phone a little bit more than I should. But
Oh,
yeah,
dang. Golfing.
I'm not very good, and that's putting it kindly. But Zan, you've got a Lorcana podcast, right?
Yes, Club Lorcana.
And where can people find that? It's on YouTube, right?
It's on YouTube. It's under my channel, which is at ZAN SYED. So yeah, check it out.
Yeah, definitely. You've had Albert Bedelance on recently, former head judge of the North American Championship. So I'm not sure necessarily former, but they were the head judge for the North American Championships. And I haven't listened to the second episode yet, but it's on my watch list because I really enjoyed the first one.
Yeah, I mean, we did like a 3-hour session, and we felt like people couldn't sit down and listen to a 3-hour one, so we broke it up into 3 parts.
Yeah. That's awesome.
But yeah, I've been like, so I went to SSG to play in a tournament, and he was head judging there, and I was like, you gotta come on, like,
Hell
if
yeah.
you can find the time, and he made it happen. He drove up, like he was absolutely incredible. He was like, let's book a professional studio and he paid for it. He was like, I want a green piece of content that, like, you know, lets people know what's going on, and like it was just incredible. Like,
Hell
I'm
yeah.
just so glad that there's people like him that care so much about, you know, moving the judging forward, moving this game forward. And
Definitely.
yeah,
Yeah, because I had him on my channel after the drama in Australia, and I hadn't met him prior to that, so I didn't really know what to expect when I had the phone call with him. But like, as soon as I finished that phone call, like, the direction of my video was incredibly clear, just because of how much passion and knowledge that he had, like, surrounding everything. So it was really awesome to see him on your channel also. All right, I think
I saw him actually the first time at the first DLC, and I honestly didn't know what our relationship was, because he's so freaking professional.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't want to have a relationship with, like, player type of like attitude. And you know, then after when he was done, I was like, can we can we make a piece of content happen? And he was like, yeah, I would love to do that.
All right, I think I've shuffled enough. I hope I have.
Cool beans. Before we do that, do you think we can do even or odd?
Sure. I will go for odd because I am odd.
Cool. You roll a dice as well. Both of us roll a dice.
Wait, so how does it work?
It's just gonna be the sum.
Ah, that makes sense. That's a good way of doing it.
That way, like, I can't manipulate the roll.
Yeah.
Manipulate the roll.
That sounds like a winner.
Odd, right?
Yeah, odd, please.
All right, let's do it.
4 for me.
4 for me.
Damn it.
I will be on the play.
Did you win many die rolls this tournament? Because I did not.
I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I have a bias in my head, but I feel like I lost every one. But
I won.
I think I beat DKP, so I think I'm one.
Yeah.
Even.
I won 1 die roll against Kurt, and it was the only game I lost. So maybe that's a sign, mate.
Oh no. All right, you tell me what you want.
I'll go 2-3-1, please. The Elmeister special.
I'll do the same.
Perfect. Also worth mentioning to people that this there's a cast for this as well with JDZ and Frank Costin, which I'm definitely looking forward to listening back to and hearing what Frank's got to say.
Same here. I'm actually going to move.
Are we good to start, do you think?
Let's see what the chat says.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Very best of luck, my friend.
You as well.
All right, welcome everybody. A big shout out to Card Market who sponsored the stream. Thanks, Card Market. So I am in a bad spot. Lost the die roll, and my deck is very much built in a way which is pretending that Ruby. Oh, that's nice. Ruby Sapphire doesn't exist. It is open deck list. ZAN is playing Ruby Sapphire, but I made a meta call for this tournament. It's like 5 opponents, and I made him read that I wouldn't play against Ruby Sapphire. I thought DKP would get knocked out round 1 because I thought he was a bit too predictable, and that Kurt should bring a deck which beats Ruby Sapphire. Was a close game, but that did prove to be the case. Although, you know, I thought Kurt wouldn't be on Amber Steel. I thought he'd be on something more aggressive. And obviously ZAN known for Emerald Steel, so I wanted to tech for that a bit. Had a feeling he wouldn't play it. I just didn't think it was Ruby Sapphire. We need to focus now, though. Might keep that. Probably just be more aggressive, though. That's like the one consideration. I think we need an aggressive mulligan. Alright, I'm deciding how risky to be. I think we just send it, mate. Like, I think going second, it's an uphill battle. There's not... Like, the snake's good, but it's not that good. We could end up with a lot of lanterns in hand and we'll be in disaster zone. 6 for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not bad. It's not bad. Don't have a turn 3 currently, but I think we're going to struggle. So this deck, if you were to... Obviously Amber Amethyst, you would think would have a solid matchup into Ruby Sapphire. But I made a meta read that I wouldn't play against any. And yeah, ZAN surprised me with his deck. These decks are like finalized for the rest of the tournament. So the winner's going to play against Kurt on Amber Steel. And then the winner of that will play against either Moyen or Artabax, who are both playing Emerald Amethyst. And then the winner of that is in the final. I do have 3 proxies because I couldn't find my else's because I'm a donut. 1, 2, 3 for me, please.
Alright, I will do the same.
Cool. I finally get to play against you because in Paris, after the event, I wanted to play against you, but Frank and I ended up talking for too long, so we didn't get to play. So I'm looking forward to it.
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah, that is true.
Alright, I'm going to ink a Maui.
Okay.
Yeah, I will play a popsicle.
Yep.
And I'll play it up.
Sure.
Go.
My turn?
Yep.
Cool. I'll draw for turn. Let me mute my Discord because that shouldn't be popping up. I'm just pulling your deck list up, sorry, because I haven't got that up right now. And that would probably be a good idea. I do know what it is, roughly. But, yeah. Okay. Daisy's the obvious turn 1 into a bell. Might not necessarily be the correct play though. Like there's a world. I don't think it's Diablo either, to be fair. Like he goes T-Po on 2. Suddenly my Daisy's not able to quest. I think the Broom might be better. And then there's a decision point over Crab or Iago. And it's just Iago that gets inked. Crab plus Daisy might be nice, right? I will ink Iago.
Yep.
I'll play Magic Broom. And I'll pass. Like I say, I think I'm going to lose this one, unfortunately. I cut a lot of the traditional tech cards you would play for Ruby Sapphire type deck. I don't think it's a big deal not getting our Daisy down immediately. It would have been nice, but Belle's probably just going to sit there not doing much. I guess she can quest this time, but I don't really care.
Maui.
Vitalisphere inked, Vitalisphere played.
Quest for 1.
Okay.
And that's
Yep. I'll draw for turn. Well, that's a card. I will quest for 1 with Magic Broom.
Yep.
Cards in hand, please.
3.
Cheers. So the question is it Double Daisy or is it another Magic Broom at this point? I think it's probably just Double Daisy, right? I'll pay 1 for Daisy Duck.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking on the Broom trigger, I will banish it and draw. I think it's quite clear. Crab should be inked here. But there is still a decision point if it is the Magic Broom or if it is Daisy that comes down. Like, I don't have to quest with Daisy immediately necessarily, but you would think I want to. But like, if I quest with 1 Daisy, I could go Snake Daisy next turn. Snake Daisy Daisy I can't quite do. It's always going to be that into the ink, but what is the follow-up play? You would have to imagine it's Daisy, right? I'll ink Crab.
Mm-hmm.
I'll play Daisy.
Yep.
Pass. There's like a world only quest of 1 of them.
I will ink.
He also might just hardcast How Far Ago, which supports the Double Daisy play.
Play Grand Apollo.
You can still only take out 1, right? But there is a decision point of like, if I only quest of 1 and just play Snake Daisy, for example. I think it could be good.
And I will.
Sure. Ready and draw. Cards in hand, please.
3.
Cheers. So, 3 cards in hand. Brawl's a thing. Maui's a thing. He played Tala. We quest with both, you can like take both daisies out. So I think it's like Snake, replay Daisy. The thing is all the cards in my hand are really good. Like I don't really want to ink anything here. I could ink the Snake, to be honest, and go like triple 1-drop. I think the Snake's very, very strong here. I guess we quest with Daisy first. I will quest for 2 with Daisy, trigger.
Tico.
Yep. It's a big decision. We do kind of need to be brave in this matchup and like get ahead. I don't totally hate like inking a China box. Going Snake. Replay Daisy. Triple quest next turn. But if I do that, then Tala's free to sing. We might just be better forcing it out, I think. I'll quest with Daisy. Trigger.
Pirate's Life.
Yep. Thanks. Decision made. We're going to ink and go wide. I'll ink Madam Imp Snake. Pay 1 for Chatterbox. Pay 1 for Magic Broom. Pay 1 for Diablo.
Yep.
And pass with 2 cards in hand.
Cool.
This probably is bad into Maui, but I think like I have to quest at some point. I think it's probably fine to take the risk. Like, I can't just not quest, unfortunately. I'm going second. If I was going first, there would probably be some argument to take the snake there. But the other thing is, if I take the snake, I'm inking one of these 1-drops, which are just gain 1 lore for free, basically. I think it's probably the right call. Like, if we don't do anything, the Thaler's free to challenge, which, interestingly, I recognized this from my casting at the weekend. Like, there was a play where someone in the final drew off 2 brooms against DKP, and it just left the Thaler free to sing. So I think the casting's probably actually what led me to this decision, is seeing someone play against DKP and just allowing them to sing how far I'll go with Thaler in this position. I think, ooh, that's not a Maui.
I'm gonna play Developer Brand.
Yep, that is not a Maui, everybody. I can tell you that is not, in fact, a Maui. I'm also threatening Rapunzel this turn, right? Challenge of Daisy, Rapunzel up.
Pink Akipo.
Yep.
I'll play a half hour all day.
Sure. It's pretty good. For us. We're asking all the right questions. I couldn't really have had a better start here, so we're in a good position. Took a risky mulligan and it paid off, huh? Do you mind which? There's a foil or a non-foil?
I gotta take out the foil.
Yeah, of course.
Too strong, man.
It's the main line, right?
And I think so. I have 6 things, 1 and pass.
Cool. I'll ready and draw. Cards in hand, please.
I have 4. And you?
I have 3.
Cool.
All right. So, what do we do? What do we do? It's a very good hand. B prep could come through this turn. How many cards was it in hand, sorry?
4.
Cheers. That's a lot of cards. There was no Maui last turn. We kind of just want to force the B prep. Like, Daisy's always questing, that much is quite clear, right? So we should probably start off with that play because it's information. Daisy will quest for 2. Trigger.
Be prepared.
Okay. Ooh, Daisy. You cheeky minx. We'll take that, won't we? We'll certainly take that. I'll quest for 1 with Diablo and quest for 1 with Magic Room. I'm also going to quest for 1 with Chernobog's, but I'm going to think on the trigger there for a minute.
Yeah. I'm going to go turn off 1 light so my glare is not as bad.
No problem, mate. So I think we're always banishing to draw here because, like, B prep. I mean, like, I'm still overloading the removal anyway. Like, I think. There's a word I'm supposed to leave it. So if I still thinking on this, sorry, big decision.
Yeah, take it down.
If I draw, I'm hoping for an ink to just play Pascal. But the logic is it's 1 extra card in hand. If I draw, I'm also drawing off Broom. I'm either drawing off Broom and Chernobog or neither. I think I have to draw because of B prep is too good otherwise. I will banish and draw.
Go.
The snake is a very good card, by the way. Holy moly. Holy moly, that's a good card. Maybe we don't even play Pascal yet, right? Maybe we just go snake onto Daisy. pop the broom. There's also a decision point on if we... Wow, that's interesting. I don't want to ink the snake. I could ink the Chernobog. I kind of want to pick the daisy up, though. Oh, wow. If we go snake, we force the B prep, and then we follow it up with Pascal. It's pretty good. Oh, my days. I think I like the snake play. Gonna go with my gut. I'm gonna pay 2 for Madam Mim Snake.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put everything into the bag, and I'm gonna trigger the broom first.
Okay.
That is allowed, right?
Yeah, that seems correct.
So I'm gonna banish the broom, draw a card,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna pick up Daisy.
Yep.
So then the decision is, do I overextend into a B prep still? I think it's fine. Force the early B prep. I'll ink Bell.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll play Daisy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll pass. 3 cards in hand.
You have 3? Okay.
Yep. Probably could have thought a little bit more about the Chernobog there, but I think I didn't want to give away that I had an extra 1 drop in hand.
I'll play Maui Shark.
Yep.
I'll sing Pirate's Life.
Shot. So I lose 2 law. I go to 8.
8, and I'll go to 4.
Mm-hmm.
And I will ink a Popsicle. Use the Talisphere on Maui Shark.
Very nice.
And I will take up the Diablo.
Shot. I'll draw.
Bring back the Pirate's Life.
Yep.
So 4, 7, and
Cool. Draw. Cards in hand, please.
3.
Cheers.
And you?
I have 5 in hand.
5. Cool.
Wow. I mean, that's a huge problem. Let's be completely honest. That is a complete and utter problem. I think we're a bit cooked, sadly. What we could do is we could go for a Rapunzel play here, but then like the shark's just feasting. I think you can see it's just a very bad spot for me in general. What I could do is I could force a B prep on his own shark. Like I just don't exert anything, force a B prep. I think I could see Chernobogs plus a Pascal at this point. Force the B prep on his own Maui. It's kind of my only win condition. It's a very bad spot to be in though, sadly. I think the snake play should have been Pascal and we saved the snake for later, but I think we might have still been in danger really. We could challenge with Daisy, right? And yeah, don't know about that. Madam Mim could take out Tala. Doesn't sound great, but it's just sat there otherwise if not. Might be worth. I'll ink Rapunzel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pay 4 for Iago.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pay 1 for Chanabogs. Quest of Daisy, which I should have done first, but never mind.
Kamato.
Mm-hmm. And I'll quest form with Snake. I have 2 cards in hand, and I think 5 ink, right? Yeah, 5 ink. Pass. The Iago comes down here because it can actually trade out the shark. I don't think I win if I just stop questing. But yeah, sadly I'm in a very bad spot. But that's to be expected, unfortunately. It's the reality of the matchup. Knew I was in a heap of trouble as soon as I queued into Ruby Amethyst with a build. I'm very much teched for Amethyst mirrors, right? With like Iago over Genie, no goats, no piglets. I think that Ruby Amethyst, Ruby Sapphire was probably a bad meta call for this tournament. I don't think it's going to do that well, but do well here. Yep, so I lose 2.
And I go to 7.
Yep.
And then I'll use the Maui Shark to take out the Daisy Duck.
Okay.
And I'll bring back Pirate's Life.
Sure.
I'll play a Tamatoa. Bring back the Talisphere and Popsicle.
Mm-hmm.
I'll play a Popsicle. I'll use the Popsicle on the Maui Shark.
Yeah, my Daisy pay is really bad, sadly. Because I saw the Tamatoa and I can see Popsicle, you can heal, and then my Iago play makes no sense, but to be honest, I don't think it was ever making a difference. I think this one was over as soon as the half shark came down. But I hit like the perfect curve almost, so you can see it's very bad for me. Yep. I will draw. Maybe like Bell could bail us out a bit, but I guess Bell is the out right now. Looks like a challenge shark. Cards in hand, please.
I have 4.
Cheers. It's a lot of cards.
Hold on. I think I have 8 ink and 7 lore. Is that correct?
Yeah, 7 lore sounds right, because you went Pirate's Life and you were on 4 before, right?
Yep, exactly. Sorry, I got both of those switched. Now
Sure.
I got it right. Go.
I didn't even notice, so thanks.
Yeah, no, that's my bad.
I guess requesting.
I'm contemplating whether or not I should be using a life pad just because I'm like so mentally used to it.
Yeah.
And I honestly need more Pixel 1 Connect matches.
I'll quest for 1 with Chanabogs. I will banish it and I'll draw a card.
Yep.
I will challenge Grandma Tala with Iago.
Yeah. Oh no. 3 cards.
4 for Rapunzel.
Mm-hmm.
Heal Iago, draw 3. This is the problem. I don't have anything to play. My curve is too high. It's very, very bad. That's quite good though. Quest for 1 with Snake.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess I'm inking the fox here, but maybe it's also just Iago. I'm gonna ink Iago and very sadly pass. 5 in hand for me.
And I'm going up to 5.
We're making it work for it. And we've got the bell to... I wonder if I wasn't ever supposed to exert...
We'll play a Maui
Oh
shard.
god, no! Not another one! Maybe we should have tried to force the B prep a bit more with the cheddar box, for example, earlier as well. I don't know, man.
And
I think we're in a bad spot, regardless of what I do, sadly. When he plays it like this.
use Tamatoa to sing Pirates Life.
Yep, I'll lose 2 law.
And I'll go to 11. I'll gain 4.
Mm-hmm.
I'll cast Visions, go to 13.
Mm-hmm.
And
Fair play to Zan, he's played it very well.
I think this Maui.
Like I say, sadly was always going to be
Use the Vitalis
an uphill
there.
battle, particularly when losing the die roll.
Use the Maui to take out Iago.
Okay.
I'll return Pirates Life.
Mm-hmm.
I'll sing Pirates Life.
Yep, I'll go to 7.
Go to 17. And I'll go to 18. And pass.
Sure. Already. And draw. Cards in hand, please.
Card 2.
Cool. I'll pay 5 for Bell. I'll move 1 damage counter from your Bell onto the damaged half shark.
Sweet.
Go out in style, right?
Yeah.
I'll challenge the Bell with the Mim. I'll ink the library. I'll quest and pass. You've got to do it with a pirate scythe, mate. That's the rule.
Alright, we're gonna hard cast.
You got to get the biggest deficit possible, right? Well played.
Oh, then I should have quested with the Maui Shark first.
That is very true. Alright, I'll try my luck going first on this one, please.
We were playtesting yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and what do you call it? We were playtesting yesterday, and basically whoever was on the play was winning every single time. And then there was a stretch where I find, like, after the first 2 matches, the first 2 I was on the draw, So
Yeah.
I lost 2-1. And then we played 3 more, and I just 2-0'd. And I finally broke the serve of like
Yeah.
being on the draw like losing on the draw. So yeah, it was a really interesting matchup to try to figure out.
Yeah, I didn't get to test a lot, but I can tell you I didn't win a single game in my playtesting. But I was playing against Moyen, and unironically, my practice for this tournament, like I've been lucky to have him as a practice partner like before my games. My record against him, which he reminds me after every game, is 2 wins and 31 losses.
Oh my
But I'm still in the tournament, so in fairness, I have a tendency to try and go like second very often in practice because I feel like it's better use of my time.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's been absolutely beating me
Did he call you a 5-year-old?
What's that?
I said, did he call you a 5-year-old?
I think he calls me worse than that, to be honest.
Oh no. If you play test, I promise I won't I won't brag about beating you.
No, it's all good fun.
No, I'm just
I also roast him a lot anyway, so
no. It was some of the best playtesting I got before Continentals was with Moyen. So
yeah, he's very good. That's for sure.
good
Don't tell him I
practice.
said that though.
Yeah, I'll keep a secret. I'll keep the secret.
1, 2, 3 for me, please.
I'll do 3, 2, 1.
Yep. Good luck.
You too, bro.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's an L, so pretty sure it's just 6. It's like that you could consider, but I think it's just 6. A risky 6. Yeah. Same again, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I'm gonna do 5.
Sure. So 5 suggests he doesn't have ramp on this occasion. Which is obviously good for us. The Peter Pan is bad in this matchup, really, but can do some stuff with Peter Pan, Rush Iago, particularly with the Madam Mim. Like I can actually take out a half shark and a single swoop. It's like a Surfer Mim, which gives everything Challenger 1. I've only got 1 copy in the deck. Might be my last game of the LCCC. We've done well. We've made a good run of it, but all good things have to come to an end. I think Artabax or Moyen are very well positioned to take it down. I think ZAN will struggle against both of them. I think if Kurt can take ZAN down in the next round, it's a bit defeatist of me to already be talking about that, but I think Kurt's got a chance too. Dude, next time I see you, I need some shuffling lessons.
Yeah, this one was not great.
1, 2, 3 is good for me.
1, 2, 3. I'll do 3, 2, 1 again.
Cool. All right. Good luck. Have fun.
Good.
So, I think it's always that goes, to be fair. Is it overall I'm utilizing that early though to take out a bell? Could go like 1, 2 quests. Bam. I think it might be that goes, to be honest. think that's the big brain play. I'll ink Rapunzel.
Mhm.
And I'll pay 1 for Magic Broom. Pass. The thing is Rapunzel, he's going to play around it. She looks better than she is in this matchup in an open deck list. She's so good though for the deck in like Amethyst battles. Actually absurd.
I'm gonna ink Tamako.
Especially with Iago.
I'll play a popsicle.
Does he have it? Back to back.
And I'll play a popsicle.
He's done it twice! They said Bell was dead.
But Bella's pretty alive.
Yep.
And so I got 1 and pass.
Cool. I will ready and draw. So it's bam, bam, draw. Probably Fox that goes. I'll ink Fox. For 2, I'll play Lantern.
Mhm.
I will quest for 1 with Magic Broom. I'll exert my Lantern and pay 0 for Diablo. And I'll banish Magic Broom and I'll draw a card.
Yeah.
And I'll pass.
I'm gonna play Developer Break.
Yep. See if he walks into my crab trap. Sadly, it's open list, so I think it might be a bit telegraphed, but definitely think it was the right call to ink the Rapunzel. But yeah, it's not looking good, sadly. I think even with Goat, we would have got cooked. Or Piglet, we would have got cooked in the last game, to be completely honest. The Bell is obviously pretty impressive against my deck. I do like the build. Yep. He has no super goofs and also plays no Sisu, which gives me a chance, but the Vitalisphere was good, wasn't it? Very, very good.
Pass.
Sure. I'm ready and I'll draw. That's a nice find, isn't it? That is a nice find. So we go Peter and Daisy this turn. Probably will have to be the poor old crab that goes at this point, but it could be Bell. I think the crab's too slow, isn't it? I'll link crab.
Mhm.
I'll quest for 1. You didn't fall into my crab trap, mate. What the heck? You're kind of good at the game. I'm going to pay 3 ink for an Italian Peter Pan, apparently, which I didn't know was Italian, but it is.
Nice.
And you might think I'm done there, but no. I'm going to use my Lantern and pay 0 for Daisy.
Yep.
And I'll pass. I have 2 in hand.
2 in
Oops,
hand.
3 ink, sorry, not 4. Just with the Lantern.
Yeah. So you okay? And I have I'm going up to 7 cards.
It's quite a lot of cards.
Yep. Alright, I'm gonna start off by playing Sail.
Mm-hmm. Even here, though, you can see like the Lantern makes the Peter Pan better. Like Peter Pan, very slow.
How many cards did you say were in your hand?
2.
Yeah.
But just the fact, I mean, it's uninkable. You're gonna have to play at some point, right? So just the fact that you can make it a bit of a high tempo play feels pretty nice. I'd love to try and put it to game 3 in like open triple daisy and he misses ramp. I'd love to try and push it to game 3. Really, really would.
I'm gonna enter Bell.
Interesting.
I'm gonna enter Grammatala. I'll play a Vitalis here.
That's scary.
And pass.
Rapunzel threat. Yep. Draw. So it's 4 ink you're at, is it?
Yep, 4 ink.
And cards in hand, please.
4.
Nice one. It's Maui time. So I think it's just Snake and Daisy. I don't think we ink even. Very sure there's a need to. Quest for 2 with Daisy, trigger.
Popsicle to the bottom.
Alright. A few more of those, please, Daisy. I'll quest form with Diablo and also quest form with the Italian Peter Pan.
Yep.
I'm going to use my lantern to pay 1 for Madam Mim Snake.
Yep.
And I'm going to pick up Daisy Duck.
Yep.
I'll pay 1 for Daisy Duck.
Yep.
So the decision point here is like, am I supposed to ink? I don't really think the crab provides much, so I think I'll just get rid of it. Okay, so I hit like a 1. It's not really any reason to do it right now. Well, because I could hit a 1 drop and then ink off Diablo. I think I'm quite interested in doing it. Crab plus Peter Pan can take down a half shark. It's a big decision. It seems obvious to ink it, but it's actually very much not. My intuition is that I'm not going to ink here. But maybe that's too risk averse. Bell plus Daisy next turn would be an option if I ink it. I think we have to take the high roll. I'm going to ink crab and I'm going to pass. 1 card in hand.
1 card. I'm going up to 5 cards.
The logic is that like he banishes Diablo, I draw for turn, I get a 1 drop and an ink. That's my like best possible curve, and I think I need the best possible curve in this position. Yep. It's a hard cast of how far I'll go.
Ink a sail.
Hmm.
I will pass.
Sure. Cards in hand, please.
4.
Thanks. I'll draw. So he's scared of damn. He's scared of Rapunzel. But he's being sneaky with this Vitalisphere half shark combo because he can half shark me now and there's nothing I can do about it. think we should just play the Iago still. I'll quest for 2 with Daisy.
Maui?
Yep.
Hero 12.
I'll quest, and I'll quest. I'm going to pay 4 for Iago.
Yep.
I'm going to exert my lantern. And I'm going to pass. 1 card in hand. 1 card.
1 card?
Yeah.
Is it Rapunzel?
No comment. I ink that Rapunzel turn 1, baby. See what I mean about the Rapunzel ink? Big brain stuff, huh? So obviously I'm playing heavily into B prep here, but like I'm trying to force it, whereas
Hero to all.
last time the I didn't force it really quite enough.
I'll quest for 1. And I'll be prepared.
Yep. I will draw for Diablo.
Yeah.
I'll ready, and I'll draw. I'm going to use the lantern and pay 4 for Bell, and I'll pass. 2 cards in hand.
I'm going after 5 cards.
Cool. You can see I'm just too slow, too top heavy. Fair play to him. Didn't expect him to play Ruby Sapphire. And you can see like that's the value of Ruby Sapphire. I think it thrives in a meta which doesn't anticipate it.
I want to play
And I think in a meta which does anticipate it, it will struggle because of discard. And I think that it's gonna struggle. I don't think it was a good call for the tournament overall. We'll have to see if that's right or not though. It was certainly a good call against me as it turned out. But it's quite a unique format, right? Where you submit the decks knowing who you're up against and knowing like there's only 5 other people. It's quite a unique dynamic. Like these lists aren't necessarily reflective of your local game store meta. But like these bells, for example, if he was on Emerald Steel, would have been great and very important against the Ursula 3, against Beasts. Also very good against like Moyen and Artabax on Amethyst decks. Even good against Kurt playing Amber Steel. But yeah, my curve's too heavy. My deck's too slow. But to be fair, even with the goats and piglets, like I'm not sure I would have won the last game, you know? It wasn't exactly close. He did chain a ton of Pirates' lives though, but I really like the build with the Vitalosphere. Like that Vitalosphere half shark play was filthy. It was so good. And also he had the threat of that as well. In the last turn, he had the threat of Vitalosphere half shark, right? Which forced me to overextend into a B prep.
And
Library would have been good for us, but cool. I'll draw. I'll ready first and then draw.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I was talking so much I don't even know what he did. It's not very good, is it? Tala and Vision. Was that it, guys? That was bad. I was not paying attention. Paying attention is overrated, huh? So there's still the half shark threat. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I have both of these, How many cards in hand was it, please?
4.
Cheers.
And you?
3. So it's probably time for him to start half sharking me. The question is like how much can I overextend without questing? I could play another bell no quest. If I do that, I'm threatening to get to 15. Doesn't really sound that good. Alternatively, I could ink belt Play Pascal. Quest for 2.
Yep.
Tap Lantern. Pay 3 for Pascal.
Yep.
Pass. 2 cards in hand.
2 cards. I'm going up to 5.
Yeah, we're losing, sadly. Never mind. I kind of knew it going in that it was going to be too much on this occasion. The matchup felt very bad when I played against Jan, and yeah, fair play to Zan. I made a good run of it. People said I would get knocked out in the first round, but I'm still here. I stand by my call though. I think my deck was a pretty good meta call overall for this tournament if Zan wasn't on this deck. If that makes sense. Now, there's no other Ruby Sapphire players left. DKP got knocked out, which was kind of what I anticipated. Because I think it was too predictable. That was my thought anyway.
I was seeing how far I'll go. So
Yep.
I'll go to 1. Let me go 2.
But yeah, so basically the logic was I thought DKP would lose, which ended up being true. Because I thought Kurt would just tech for Ruby Sapphire. It's a bit too obvious in my opinion. Didn't quite happen that way, but Kurt still won. I didn't think that Zan would actually play Emerald Steel. I thought he'd throw a curveball out there. I just didn't think it would be Ruby Sapphire. For those reasons I mentioned, right? Artabax is going to be on Emerald Amethyst. I think that's just as predictable as DKP being on Ruby Sapphire. And that's correct. And then if Kurt's playing something that's good against Ruby Sapphire,
I'll use the Calisphere.
but maybe I want to ask Zan afterwards. Yep.
And I'll take out Bell.
Sure.
I will grab Vision.
Okay.
I'll think I'll make Duck Manor. I'll play Visions. So I'll go up to 3.
He's supposed to heal the half shock with Popsicle here, right? But let's see if he does. I would imagine he does. He's quite good. Would be quite surprised if he does not. I'd be very surprised. Very, very surprised. But one can hope. So yeah, overall, the deck, as soon as I saw the Ruby Sapphire, I was like, okay, it could be fine. As soon as I started testing it, yeah. I know I was getting cooked by a C-tier deck. That's a meme. It's a good meme, okay?
I'll use the Popsicle.
There it is. Madam Im Challenger off the top, by the way. Insane. I can take out the half shot with Peter Pan. Oh my god, that's the out. The one-off
That's all I can do.
skater. Alright. I will ready. And I will draw. I'm going to rub the table. It didn't work. Damn. It didn't work, guys. What the heck? How many cards in hand, please?
4.
Cool. Thanks. So I think the play here has to be 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't do Bell plus the Diablo because of ink. I could go Pascal into Shark. Is that ever winning the game? Intuitively, I would say no. I don't think so. And I can't play both of these. Can play both of these. True Threat and 5 Law.
How many cards do you even have again?
3. And you can just see what I mean about my curve being a bit too heavy here. If this was ink, I'd be able to ink that, do that, no quest, but I can't do that. So the question is does Pascal ever just challenge the half shark here? That feels like a bit of a losing play, to be honest. I could see a world we just play these two. No quest. Can I just see all the actions in discard? It's B prep, how far I'll go, vision, and sail, and develop. Yeah, I got it. Thank you, mate. I got it. Thank you, though. You had it laid out very neatly for me already, so thanks for that.
No problem.
I'll pay 4 for Peter Pan Diablo. I will exert my lantern.
Yep.
And I will pass. 1 card in hand. I want to do it in that order to keep you in suspense.
It's so much suspense I can't even. I'm not like visions.
Mm-hmm.
So 4.
I don't know I'm playing solely, guys, but every decision's going to matter in this one, so whatever. I have no regrets. I'm sure there's a few people that are unhappy with like, oh my god, it's so boring. You're so slow. But it's untimed, mate, so... As long as I'm not taking the mickey too much, I'll take my sweet time. Been a fun tournament, though. I think the Amber Amethyst is a very strong colour combination. I really like it a lot. Like Rapunzel, very, very good. I think Pascal's also incredibly strong. It is uninkable, mind you, but like Peter Pan, Pascal, poof, Iago, Rapunzel, oof. Definitely looking at the meta overall, I probably would have been better served with Emerald Amethyst, but never mind. I was keen to bring this deck out and have fun with it. I enjoyed testing it a lot as well. Got to do like 1 day of testing and really had a lot of fun. It's actually a deck I theorycrafted about 6 months ago with Lantern and Amethyst. Just never really felt like the right meta for it to make sense, but I felt like this one it might. Should be good in Amethyst mirrors. Should be good enough to beat Ruby Sapphire if you build it right. With that in mind, but obviously I wanted to go a different direction with the read for the tournament, which ultimately didn't work out. You know, like if I have goats, it's a lot more scary, and to be fair, ZAN is very, very good. You can see why my assessment of Ruby Sapphire being a C tier was very bad. Like, the deck, even against relatively quick decks, just has so much juice with the half shark Pirate's Life combos. In the right hands, the deck is particularly good, right? But yeah, still, discard's going to give it a lot of grief, I think, overall. Which was the ultimate reason I put it as low as I did. Which was definitely too low, but never mind. I still think it's, when everything settles, I think it's going to be Emerald Amethyst as the top deck, actually, of the meta. That's my current prediction. I think Emerald Amethyst is the deck with discard. Prince John's Purple Dream, baby. So obviously in set 3, I was quite known for Emerald Steel discard, but by the end of the set, I was actually playing Emerald Amethyst discard. We're not making it easy for him, at least. He's not just going through the motions too much on this one.
I'll play visions. I'll go 5.
Sure. The skated him off the top, by the way. The last time would have been so saucy, right? Because I could have gone Peter Pan, Tap Lantern, Mim. Peter Pan rushes in, takes out the half shark. Pascal quests. There was actually a world I won the game off that. That would have been pretty tasty. He still thinks it's Rapunzel in hand as well. Which it is not.
I'll play Vision. Go to 6.
Mm-hmm.
I'll brawl the Peter Pan.
Sure.
Go to 7. I'm gonna sing Firefly.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go to 10.
And I'll go to 11.
And you go to 11.
I'm still in the lead.
And I'll go up to 11. So 11, 11, 4, 10, and pass.
Sure. Cards in hand, please, as I draw.
3.
Thanks. Yeah. I just don't have enough ink, mate. Pascal Fox costs me 6 ink, which I just don't have access to. I'll quest form with Diablo.
Yeah.
I will pay 3 for Fox.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick up Diablo.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pay 1 for Diablo.
Mm-hmm.
Exert Lantern.
Nice.
Fox will take out Tala.
Yeah.
And I'll pass.
Cool. So you have 1 card left?
Yeah. We never hit the libraries either in the whole game, right? Which are obviously giving me a little bit of something, but yeah. Wasn't meant to be on this occasion.
Guess how far I'll go.
Hmm? I had a lot of fun though. It was really fun, like cooking this deck up. I think it's very solid. Clearly needs to be for your local game store. Take more for Ruby Sapphire, but yeah.
I'm gonna sing how far I'll go.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Needs to go to info. Then I'll play Kanto. Bring back Popsicle Metalisphere. Inkatico, play Popsicle. And then use the Popsicle on the
Mm-hmm.
and 3, 6, 10, 13. And pass.
Sure. All ready to draw. Finally, Pascal's time to quest. 15. Tap Lantern and pay 1 for Snake.
Yep.
Gonna bounce back Pascal to hand. I'm gonna ink. Was not Rapunzel. Play Pascal. No cards in hand. So I guess we just pass, right? Pass. That ink decision with Rapunzel was pretty good. Pirate's Life beats us.
Tamatoa.
Be prep.
15.
Rip.
Put it in the callus here. Quest. Maui. Go up to 16. Then I will be prepared.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll go up to 17.
Yep. I'll draw for Diablo.
Yep. And then I'll put in a make that commander.
Yep.
And pass.
I'll draw. Cards in hand, please.
2.
Thanks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Play Pascal. Pass.
Alright, I'll go to 19.
Don't even want to look at my proxy. That. Oh, sorry. Wasn't muted. I think it was a good time to accidentally not be muted though. Never want to look at this.
I'll play a popsicle.
I just told him what's in my hand, which is never ideal. But this, I have no out here.
I'll play a Maui Shark. And that's it. I'll go to 20.
GG, mate. Very well played.
Hey, GG's.
Nicely done. The half shark Vitalis Sphere was very difficult to stop, right? Like you're threatening B prep and also the half shark. I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, the playtesting, it really just came down to that. Once I figured that out, I was just trying to set it up from beginning to end, and it just put you in a tough spot every time. One of the ways that bailed you out was like where you build up a board, which you recognize.
Yeah.
And then you put library, and you put me in.
Yeah, I actually didn't draw a library. I think I had it in Mulligans, but I didn't keep it. But yeah.
Oh, yeah. Try to keep one copy because it creates the most amount of anomalies in the matchup.
Yeah, I can see it. All right, we'll head over into the Discord. I'll see you in the Discord, mate.
See you in the Discord.
My logic with mulliganing library is I just draw into it. I think that's fine by me. Kind of don't regret it. Let me see here. Where am I? Where am I going?
In the booth. Zan, can you hear me? Commentary space, man. He provides some great insight. But I just want to say congratulations on your victory. In my heart, I thought you would go back to Emerald Steel. Can you just talk about that decision to elect to go with Ruby Sapphire for this retooling of this tournament?
Well, I feel like your heart and SPECI's heart or any other competitor's heart would guess the same, and I felt like in this small of a field where people are trying to get to know other players, you have to show your range, and I just wanted to show that I can play blue red.
Absolutely. I thought that was a dynamic choice to come out and make red blue, but you do have access to one of the best red blue players. You and DKP are on the same team. However, you kind of diverted your strategy a little bit. You're not playing the same exact card for card makeup, basically the same concept, but you're electing to use this bell, and it has some great effects. Can you just talk about that? Was that designed for SPECI specifically, or is that something you've been testing in your own game aside from this tournament?
Well, I thought that SPECI was most likely going to play purple steel. like number one, I think that I thought most likely he was going to play an aggressive strategy. And then number two, I thought that he was going to play purple steel. That was hard countering green steel. He brought something way more surprising and super cool. But basically, I think that Bell is like a very misunderstood card.
We'll take that.
And those of us that
Very
played
cool.
Magic understand that it's closer to a card like Force of Will. And if the moment you start thinking about it like Force of Will, that you don't always have to, like Force of Will, what it did was counter something by pitching another blue card. In this instance, when this is like a Force of Will to an aggressive strategy. So you don't want to use it all the time. You actually want to only use it when your opponent's being aggressive against you. And so I feel like a deck like this, which can be weak to Daisy Duck, or just other hyper aggressive cards like one drop Maleficent that quests for 2, etc. Bell can kind of bail you out of those situations. Essentially, a Force of Will, like a price you're willing to pay in the early game, because you know that in the later game that you're going to be able to dominate.
Okay. And we got Frank Carson here. I know I'm hogging all the questions. He's a Hall of Fame player. Would you agree with that assessment as a Force of Will? I'm not sure. I don't play too much Magic, but Frank, I'm sure you got some questions for Zan and how he constructed that deck.
I also need another explanation of Force of Will because I did not follow.
I definitely like the analogy. Force of Will is a card that would cost a lot of, well, the equivalent of ink to cast to counter an opposing card, but you also have a way of playing it for free. Just like Bell, a 3/3 for 3 ink that is quite poor, but the ability to play her for free is what makes her stand out, and having access to that flexibility, indeed, especially against aggressive strategies, can give you some high roll value. It was nice to see Bell in action in both games. You won't always have the chance to put her together with the popsicle. Maybe not so nice for you, SPECI. I was interested, Zan. I saw you not exert Bell whenever you could, perhaps to play around Rapunzel in this final game. Can you talk about the thought process when you were not challenging or questing with Bell?
Yeah, so once we finally made it into top 6, I felt like it was worth my time to start playtesting. And so I had a playtesting session with 3 other people, my friend Nathan, Jeremy, and Aaron Rubin. And when we were testing, I realized that if they don't have like this hyper aggressive start, that the only way they can keep the game going is Rapunzel. And you identified that perfectly. I felt like, Bell's becomes a threat that makes my opponent want to sacrifice whenever they can. So like they'll get rid of their brooms, they'll get rid of their turnabouts. And sometimes it's wrong to quest, because if they have a Daisy Duck and they draw those 3 cards, it makes them be prepared proof, right? And so I just wanted to constantly threaten Maui Shark and be prepared. And I felt like the clock was getting too quick. Then I would swing with the Bell and risk letting my opponent draw the 3 cards. But basically, I think that it's just like weighing that decision every single turn. And I felt like it was free for me to play around, because I felt like he was only going to make it to 11 with the clock that he was demonstrating, maybe 13 at the best. And that's not like in danger range. Like the cards that he could potentially draw are way more threatening than the way he was presenting, because GOAT is a very big consideration when you're playing against Amethyst aggro shells, and this version had no GOAT. So I can't get goated out. And so like with all these variables, I like just and the playtesting, I just realized, okay, just don't give them the cards. Be prepared. Once you start getting into the 15, 16, 17 range, that's when it gets really dangerous because of a card like Pascal, right? There's a very high chance that Pascal gets to untap at least one time.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
I think that showed a lot of foresight. Even though SPECI didn't end up having the Rapunzel, your approach to the game made a lot of sense, and I think that was insightful to see.
Interestingly, like
but-
on that point of Rapunzel, I actually inked Rapunzel turn 1, even though like Crab was the more obvious ink. This was in game 2, because I kind of anticipated that ZAN was going to make it very difficult for me to get the Rapunzel value. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And ZAN at one point said to me, like, "You have one card in hand. Is it Rapunzel?" And I was like, "Ah." But of course, it was Belle.
Sneaky.
But yeah.
Pretty sneaky, sis. But
Yep.
SPECI, we're gonna bring you up here to the front, and I need you to explain one thing and one thing only. Where's Maleficent? Okay, why is she not in the deck? That's why you lost. Okay,
That's
if
true.
you
That's
put
kinda
Mal in
true.
there, then I think that was your biggest misplay. Okay, not putting Maleficent 1 in the deck, man. Okay, I can't believe you didn't do it. But seriously, I really like the deck a lot. I'm glad you brought it. Can you just describe how it went in testing in this matchup? Is it even possible to win this matchup? And how did it go when you were preparing this deck? And what are some highlights that you want to kind of illuminate to the people that are watching right now?
Sure, I think it's like very possible to beat Ruby Sapphire with the setup I've got, but maybe not when it's ZAN side playing it. I think that might have been the main issue on this occasion. I think that he made it incredibly difficult for me. Obviously, losing the die roll didn't help, but I kind of felt coming into this one I was going to be really up against it. I felt like I was quite forced to take very aggressive mulligans and really try and high roll this one. So like ZAN was mentioning just after the game that he was sort of surprised that I wouldn't keep library in opening hand, but I just felt like I just wanted to draw as many Daisy Ducks as possible, as many like 1-drops early, and then hopefully just draw into the library at the right time. That was kind of my philosophy, like just try and literally high roll the living daylights out of it, particularly when going second. Like I had close to my best possible start really in game 1, with like a couple of daisies, and I even have like the option of Pascal. Not necessarily sure I made the correct call on my turn 3, where I had the option of going Lantern Pascal, but I opted to go like Snake Daisy. I'm not sure that was much I could have done, to be honest, in the spot, but like maybe the Snake could have been better later with the Pascal. But yeah, the deck's it's deck I actually like theory crafted about 6 months ago. I was playing in Seattle Disney Lorcana Challenge. It's the only one I got to play at, and I really just wanted to play something fun and different. So I actually did like a thought. I knew I wanted to play Amethyst. This was like the meta was very Emerald Steel, Diablo, Steel Song were kind of like the main decks. And I did a thought experiment where I was like, right, Amethyst has so many good cards. If I could pick a playset from each ink color, like what would my pick be? Like, so if I pair Amethyst with Steel, I decided Dock was the best card. With like Sapphire, it would be Sail. And I actually decided that Lantern was my choice for Amber, which probably surprises a lot of people. But it's very similar to a Sail when you draw it on curve. It's significantly more clunky, doesn't have as much synergy with locations, but it just allows you to get off to that sort of like unfair start. And in Amethyst mirrors in particular, being able to Elsa like a turn sooner than your opponent and stuff like that can make a big difference. So it's just a deck I had theory crafted for ages, but I'd literally never play tested. I didn't have much time for play testing. I knew I wanted to play Amethyst, and I thought it was a good opportunity to try and show what Amber Amethyst could do.
Okay. Before I kick it over to Frank, I do have one question. Were you surprised when these deck lists came out? This is our open deck list again. That ZAN showed up with Ruby Sapphire. Was that part of your plan, or did you just say whatever he brings, I'm bringing this deck, and I'm just gonna see what happens with it? I feel like I got good matchups all across the board.
No, my deck was very much like a meta read. Like I think the meta was very predictable for this tournament. The one person I would say that wasn't predictable was ZAN, actually. I mean, I don't think Moyen was predictable either, but I knew what Moyen was playing. Obviously, he's a good friend of mine, and we were chatting. So I knew what he was playing. I knew very confidently that both Artabax and DKP would pick their pet decks. Like, I think that's quite clear to everybody. obviously Artimax played Sapphire Steel in the previous round, but obviously with Emerald Amethyst, in my opinion, looking like one of the best decks in the game, I think that was quite a clear read. Kurt, his main deck that he's known for is Amber Steel, but I actually had a pretty strong gut feeling he would be playing something very anti Ruby Sapphire. Like, you're playing against DKP. I was surprised he played songs. My gut feeling was he'd play something very anti Ruby Sapphire, and that also made me feel like ZAN wouldn't want to play Ruby Sapphire for that reason, right? So I actually had a gut feeling ZAN wouldn't play Emerald Steel. My matchup into Emerald Steel was actually pretty bad, but I definitely tried to tech for it a bit with like the Bells, for example. I wasn't really wanting to play, but they just felt like good top decks. Like something like Piglet and Goat wouldn't be particularly impactful in that matchup. So the Emerald Steel was definitely in my head a little bit. I didn't expect Ruby Sapphire. My kind of approach to this tournament was DKP is going to lose round 1. I do not need to play against Ruby Sapphire in this tournament, and therefore it is a waste of time teching for that matchup, and I should just focus on the final 2 games if I get that far, and try and be like teched out for Amethyst Mirrors. That was kind of my intuition in some ways.
Okay. Before Frank, you got any questions for SPECI before I throw it back over to ZAN? Because I have some other things I want to ask the DLC champ before we start to wrap this thing.
I have 2 quick things to ask. First, tying into what you just explained, SPECI, on how this particular deck was quite metagamed for this particular LCCC field. If there are any viewers that might be interested in taking this deck to their local stores, or perhaps indeed playing it on Pixelborn, would you recommend any changes? Like you mentioned, cards like Piglet or Goat. Would you recommend putting those in and taking specific cards out, or how would you view or approach that?
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing a deck at locals, you need to be able to beat Ruby Sapphire, right? And as evidenced, my deck didn't have what it takes to do that. So definitely like lowering the curve overall. Like you saw, I ended up in some very clunky spots where like I had 2 or 3 cards in hand and kind of nothing. There was never a turn I could go like 2 cards at once and really apply some pressure and threaten lethal, like force the B prep. So I think just like a lower curve overall, right? Like you need to cut some of the top end cards like the Bells. I think the Crabs could also be reduced in count. Goat I think is very strong with Lantern, particularly like obviously you didn't really see the card draw potential of my deck, but against most decks in the meta, like Rapunzel can draw you a lot. Like it's kind of unavoidable when you have rush evasive cards and things like this. Overall just like lower curve, I think. Yeah, I mean, honestly, Maleficent 1-drop wouldn't be the worst idea, JD. I've got to say, mate, you might be onto something there. Maybe a few Lilos.
No, maybe, well, just one Maleficent would already.
Yeah,
for sure. I think at least just a one of, man. You got. I mean, you made that. That's your card, man. You got to play it, man. At this point. At this point, I was disappointed not to see it.
The other question I had, SPECI, was when playing this matchup, especially when you were going into, for example, in the second game, into the turn where ZAN had 7, was gonna have 7 ink. You were kind of squeezed between either Be Prepared or like a Maui Half Shark that could gain rush with the Vitalosphere. In the second game, you ended up playing Iago, which then got swept up by the Be Prepared. Can you walk us through your thought process on how you were like approaching those turns and the decisions on whether to still commit characters or not?
Yeah, not sure turn 1 I really respected the Vitalosphere as much as I should have. I was kind of going through the motions. So I'm not sure there was probably a bad part of my gameplay in that point. Like I didn't really evaluate necessarily everything that was on the board. So I think that's probably something I need to work on in general, just like ensuring, I know exactly what's on the board. Like a little Vitalosphere was kind of easy to forget about, but it proved to be very impressive. Game 2, I was definitely more aware of it. I kind of just decided that like I need to force the B prep or I'm kind of losing. Like if he just keeps doing the half shark, I can't remember the exact board state, but I remember developing Iago, and I was like, okay, well, if I play the Iago, he's probably going to be prep, and then at least I can try and reset and get, just about cross the finish line with the right draws. Like I remember at one point when I inked the crab, I wasn't really sure it was necessarily correct to, but I was just kind of hoping that maybe he banishes my Diablo, I can develop Bell and a 1-drop if I like really high roll, like I draw a 1-drop, I draw ink, I can go Bell 1-drop and maybe force the win. But yeah, I think like overall, I think he put me in a really tight spot with those decisions. I kind of feel like both of them, whatever I did, didn't feel good. And in game 2, I just definitely decided that like, all right, if he's got B prep, he's got B prep, but like there's nothing I could really do about that. I kind of just hoped he didn't, and that maybe opened up an opportunity if he didn't have it.
Yeah, you were indeed put into difficult spots where kind of regardless of what you would do, you would be in a very tough position to still try to win the game.
Yeah, ZAN played very well.
Too powerful once you get to the mid to late game.
Yeah, and credit to ZAN's deck building as well, right? Like the Bell and the Vitalis Sphere, I think in particular, are like two things you don't see very often in Ruby Sapphire, but you really saw them. They were the stars of the show in many ways. I mean, I think the Maui Half Shark was, but Bell and Vitalis Sphere definitely deserve a lot of the credit, I think.
For sure. But SPECI, I think honestly, you got to look at what you've done here at this tournament, and you have to hang your head up high. Your run does end here, but still, I think you achieved your goal. You showed that you can still play off meta.
I did achieve my goal, man. I wanted to win, but I
know you want to win it all. I know you want to win it all, but still, you made it quite far. But the run does come to a stop here. However, ZAN SYED, you're going to be moving on. You're going on over to the down bracket finals, the losers finals. You're going to be playing against your teammate and friend Kurt Spice. Any idea how that matchup's going to go? You saw his deck list. He did take out another one of your friends and teammates this morning, playing a very similar strategy. Can you just illuminate some idea of what you think that matchup's going to be like and how you think it's going to go, as it's going to be happening sometime within the next week or so?
I think it's bad for me. I would probably say I'll give it a 60-40 in his favor. It's going to really come down to the die roll, and then I think my biggest strength is Amber Steel Songs since set 3 has kind of like had worse and worse consistency draws, and I think that if he draws 2 or 3 whole
like
new
Zach
worlds,
Bivens.
Exactly. If those consistency draws are in my favor, I think that'll give me a good shot. But I do think I'm pretty unfavored.
Okay. But I think you got what it takes, man. And what is your camera setup like, man? That thing is sitting. Is it on a telescope? Where is that thing at in your house right now? It seems like it's on the roof. I gotta know.
It's I'm in the basement, and I have like a, what do you call it, webcam attached to one of those wear things that people use to stream card games. And
okay.
And then I have like a little circle thing
Thanks to
above
Card
it,
Market for
so
sponsoring
it's
the
supposed to
stream.
prevent glare.
Great place to buy singles online in Europe.
I moved it, and so I have like a light that ended up getting past it, but hopefully.
Okay.
I'll try to. I have all the stuff. I just gotta set it a little bit better.
No, it's okay. We're just it's a meme at this point, because your camera seems like it's getting higher and higher and higher as each round goes by, and it's just it's something that we like to point out. But gentlemen, man, I just want to thank you guys again from the bottom of my heart for coming out and sacrificing your time to participate in these LCCCs. As I mentioned in the preamble of this stream, they're very important, and a lot of people take these things incredibly serious, man. So sacrifice your time to come out and do something for the community. It means a whole lot. And we are about to wrap this thing up. SPECI, your run does come to an end here. I thought you did very well. You want to give any special shout outs before we start to sign this thing up and wrap it on out, or sign it out, wrap it, whatever, you know the vibes.
I know the vibes. No, big thank you to everyone involved, like all the judges. Obviously, big congratulations to ZAN. I thought they very much deserved the victory. Thanks to the casters. I'm looking forward to going to listen back to it. To Pavel for organising, to everyone for watching, but a very special shout out in particular to Mr. Jan Moyen, who has helped me prep throughout this tournament. Not with the deck lists. I think he would have told me to play different decks every time, but certainly helping. He beat me. I think it needs to be known I went 2-32 or something in testing against Moyen throughout the course of this tournament. So the fact I went into every match feeling in a pretty bad spot, I managed to get this far, so I'll take it. But big thank you to him for being a very good testing partner.
Absolutely. And we're going to kick it over to ZAN SYED. Any special shout outs you want to give before we sign it on off?
Thank you to my sponsor, World Class Cards. Thank you to you guys. I mean, thank you for commentating, and thank you to Pavel, the judges, of course, SPECI. I mean, I think that it's only a matter of time before you get the results that you want. And yeah, thank you to the people who helped me test. Aaron Rubin, Jeremy Bertarioni, Nathan Tripp. Yeah, it's very effective, and
Absolutely. And everyone out there still watching, if you haven't already done so, make sure you guys go and check out both of these players. They both are not only phenomenal players, but they're both content creators as well. So I know SPECI was streaming his point of view, so that's going to be something I want to go back and watch. And also make sure you tune into the Club Lorcana podcast, okay? They did a very special episode a couple of days ago. It's really, really cool. I encourage everyone to go over there and check that out if you haven't already done so. ZAN is on there, and I really appreciate both you guys for not being great players, but also putting out great content and helping out the next players get a little bit better, and that just goes a long way.
Thank you so much.
Much appreciated, guys. Have a lovely rest of your day. I appreciate you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Well, guys, the run's over. It was fun. Top 6. I'm not happy with top 6, but we'll be back. I appreciate you all very much. I will be streaming probably maybe tomorrow. I want to start doing some webcam streams. I've been very busy, but schedule's freeing up. I actually have a rare weekend at home. So yeah, thanks everyone. I do appreciate you all, and I'm looking forward to playing some Disney Lorcana pretty soon.